and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Tim Williams with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7. Here's Britton Colquitt now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. With it is Brown. They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. A tale of 2 extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis with you.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
A handoff. It's Mark Ingram. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney. Now let's go. 319. 319. Detroit. Detroit. Gone. 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 Gone.
On 3rd down, Jackson flush to his right. Keeps himself upright. Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side of the field. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So not sure how they feel about that. They had golden field position to start the drive after the fumble recovery, but they went backward and then got 3.
Well, let's go from gold to silver, because the silver lining is they got the 3, right? You were talking about the golden field position. They didn't take advantage of it. That has to feel like a letdown.
You always stand ready to pounce. Always. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They run with Hunt, and he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
And his throw here's incomplete. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
My high school coach John Ford used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you Laddie?
He called me Laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
Mayfield from the gun on third down. Steps away to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. Throwing now, Jackson on first down, eluding the pressure right. And oh, look at that, a diving catch. A very solid gain of 27.
Well, there's simply no sense in wasting a great catch like that on a short gain. Get downfield like you just did there and use it up that way.
No dink and dunk.
Watching now, Barney. Gun. Set. Green, 39.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. Forced out to, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
Gun. Here we go now. 3-19. Gun.
From the gun, Jackson. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Myles Garrett in there to drop him, and sacks on first and second downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long.
Detroit!
Play action. Now Jackson. And he's going to go down again.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. Heading out is the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now, what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. More from Cleveland after this. Now a second down throw for Mayfield. His throw incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the gun, Mayfield escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, gets him 9 yards and a first. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. A first down throw from Mayfield. Flushed out right. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Well, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. A second down throw for Mayfield. He's going to float this over the middle deep. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Browns are able to cash in for 6. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 14-10. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And his throw is going to be incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
Here's Jackson. Flush to his right. He's got a man. Complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. They give him a gain of 37. Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. As his guys are in for 6. And the Ravens are in for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Mayfield now on second down. Dancing to his left. Now he'll throw deep left side. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. As it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Mayfield. Got an open man, it's Ratley. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. As they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Buying time to his left. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first. From the red zone now, Mayfield. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the left hash, this will be a 41-yarder. And his kick is indeed good. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. So thanks to the late field goal, we are all tied up heading to intermission. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Spinning away. There he goes, right side. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Antonio Callaway with a return of 102 yards. And the Browns have moved out in front. And he puts it through. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors. But overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up. And we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. Sliding. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room. Boy, they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave him a comfortable lead.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now up to 14. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now here come the Ravens. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive. Then suddenly the fumble, and you're watching the back of a defender's jersey as he brings it all the way in the other direction.
There's not much more I can add to that. I thought you summarized it perfectly, partner. You just got to regroup and start putting another drive together. That's all you can do.
And that's off the mark, incomplete.
Just work with me a second here, because in my lifetime, seeing how quarterback percentages have changed in throwing the football, I mean, back in the good old days, if you were around 50%, you were doing okay. But now, you need to be 65 to 70% to be considered an elite quarterback. And in this ball game, I feel like we're playing old school, right around 50.
It got his man complete. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 47. Jackson from the shotgun. And incomplete on the deep ball. He was trying to get it to Seth Roberts. That'll bring up 2nd down.
It's not a bad idea, not at all. You've got a bunch of defenders reeling a little bit back on their heels after just giving up a big play. You take another shot and hope to complete it. In this case, though, it falls incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To throw again. Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. To throw is Jackson. On third down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And I think the Browns got it. They did. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, two hands. Get two hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand, but put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
No gain on the play there, second down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Second down, Mayfield. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
They decided to take a shot and right down the middle of the field, and really, they didn't give it as much time to develop, did they? They want to take that shot somewhere around the 15-yard mark.
And the defense able to recover, bat it free.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
And now we've got flags down. Looked like one of the Browns might have moved. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, third and long. Mayfield to throw it. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to fourth down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Right back to him on first down. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Over. Now let's go. Blue 90.
On second down, Jackson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And this is picked up by the Browns. And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. And that's what they've done all game long.
Extra point safely through. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them. The coaches from all the way up here, they were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
And that's exactly why the Ravens drafted him, added him to their stable after drafting Hayden Hurst in the first round. A second tight end who can catch the football. He looks like a guy who's going to line up on the line of scrimmage and mash you in the running game as a blocker. But his best attributes, splitting out, catching the football almost as an extra wide receiver.
It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, Jackson. Being chased out left. And this one is incomplete. Trying to get it to Willie Snead there. And now it's 2nd down.
An attempt at a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down. 2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Jackson throwing again. Eluding the pressure right. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Jackson to throw on 3rd down. He goes full extension, and he's got it. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
I know that rookie quarterbacks have to earn veteran receivers' trust. Maybe we saw that on that play with that type of effort, huh?
Yeah, helping out the rook with a heck of a catch. Jackson on 1st down. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
I like what they tried to do there. They didn't get a completed pass downfield, but they came off of a momentum play. Big-time gain on the previous snap. Came right back and threw one deep, hoping to catch them on their heels.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time is not. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
Gone. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And Jackson throwing once more. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
Gone!
Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 12. The rookie picked off the rookie.
And guess what? They're pretty familiar with each other. It's not like when I was growing up and the dinosaurs were roaming the earth and you heard about a guy somewhere. Now they run into each other at camps, going through high school ball, recruiting, college games, all-star games, you name it. A lot more familiarity with each other.
To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back at New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
Detroit!
I am
Detroit!
speechless. I am without speech.
Check three. Over.
To throw, Mayfield steps away. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender is making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. It's a 45-yard punt, then 8 on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
The first play of the drive there is incomplete. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
Gone! Hurry up, here we go!
They go play action with Jackson. And that's incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. And he's got Snead. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion.
And the key number on that play, 3. 3rd play of the drive, 3rd down. Spectacular catch turns into a first down.
First down saves him from a 3-and-out. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Sheldon Richardson in there to record another sack. Their 6th of the afternoon. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now it's Jackson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Over, 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 over.
From the red zone now, here's Jackson on first down. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
The Ravens on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 4.
Gun!
From the gun, it's Jackson. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
They converted twice on third down that drive already, but couldn't make it a third. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And this is incomplete. The Ravens go for it, but come up empty. And this Browns defense stands tall. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example. And now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. They'll run it here with Hunt. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he will make his way back to where he started from, and that's all, as we will make our way to the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now a second down throw for Mayfield. Escaping the pressure right. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number. Not in this league. But a drop under 50%.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Tyus Bowser in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Here's Britton Colquitt now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Jackson now on 2nd and 10. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe you can expect more passes like that downfield. On third down, Jackson. Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there. Now Jackson on first down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Let's go. 3-19.
Now Jackson to throw again. Steps away to his left. And that is incomplete.
Try and get it all back with one big shot right there, but even if successful, that doesn't get them all the way back to where they need to be. Can't totally abandon throwing the ball underneath as well.
The Ravens on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39. Detroit! Detroit! Gone! 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 Gone!
Again, Jackson. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
Gone! 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 Gone!
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Got a man. It's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Seth Roberts, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Ravens get a bit closer. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. They are in the 4th in Buffalo. And it was the Titans who were able to take home the victory there. A win would be their 2nd on the young season. Oh, the Ravens say they have it. They do have it. Well, that certainly makes things more interesting. You get the score, then you get the onside kick. A little uphill battle still, but a start.
It's not mission accomplished, but the plan is working. They are in a great spot right now, and the best part, they put the defense right back out on the field after having already scored.
Yeah, they've got the momentum here now.
3-19. Gone! 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 Detroit! Detroit!
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. Snead's got it. Able to push his way through. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. As they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. From the gun, Jackson. Flushed out right. It's caught by Mark Ingram. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Now we'll get whistles, and they've signaled for a timeout. Not sure I see the logic in this, but we'll get a stoppage anyway with 5 seconds remaining. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He hit his first, this one from 40 yards out. And his kick is right there. It's good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And this will be recovered by the Browns hands team, and that should just about write a finish to this one. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for the Browns, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And next week they get to stay home again as the Los Angeles